What if you never get better? What if these physical symptoms, these panic attacks, these intrusive thoughts, the depersonalization, derealization, the agoraphobia, all these things that you're dealing with, what if you don't get better? This is such a common fear that every anxiety sufferer has. And yet, even though every anxiety sufferer that's on the recovery journey experiences this, they feel like somehow this is a unique thought, that this is unique to them, that somehow they're a special snowflake and that everyone else might be able to get better, but what if I don't get better? So as somebody who has recovered, who helps people around the world recover, the first thing I want to say is that fear is the most common fear. I have never met anybody who's going through the anxiety recovery journey who hasn't thought this. And so I want to give you some tips on how to deal with these thoughts. I want you to think about something, okay? How many times on this recovery journey or this anxiety struggling journey where you were convinced that you had something, that you were convinced that, oh, this is it, like this is exactly what you have, and you ended up being wrong? Well, here's a tip. Anytime you have a thought that starts with what if, it's an intrusive thought. It's just anxiety trying to find ways to stay alive. So it's saying, what if you don't get better? You might have this happen on a rough day, a day where your symptoms are higher. But just because you have this thought or you have this feeling doesn't mean that this is what's going to happen. The first thing to focus on is throwing these thoughts, these what if thoughts, under the anxiety umbrella and just responding to them like you would have with any other thought. Does it scare you? Sure. Is there a little bit of fear around it? That's fine, but respond with courage. Continue moving forward in the recovery journey. And the second tip, this is a little bit more nuanced, okay? Look, when you're focused on the recovery journey, you can't be making decisions based on fear anymore. How are you going to make decisions based on fear and expect the anxiety to go away? If you're fearing something, anxiety will stay alive. Doesn't matter what you're fearing. If it's a physical symptom, if that morphs to intrusive thoughts, if that morphs to some weird emotion, if it morphs into this what if scenario of what if you don't get better, you have to respond with courage. One attitude that I had to embody is that no matter what happens, no matter what life throws at me, I will figure it out. I don't need a plan. I don't need a plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever pops up, I will deal with it at the moment. And lastly, I gave up my uniqueness. I realized I was no longer a special snowflake. If others can recover, so can I.